Welcome, Transformer fans. My name is Composite Enerjoe, and today's review is on a very special figure. Well, special to me is the Transformers. Hold on. Beast Wars Deluxe class Wolfang, and I'll explain later. I'll explain why this particular figure is special to me. Now, this is not the original one from the '90s. This is the Walmart reissue that I was able to get my hands on. And yeah, here he is in his wolf mode. Specifically, this is a timber wolf from what I read online. And I think it looks very nice. Very nice. It's unfortunate you can't see his robot hands right there under his chest, but yeah, that is a bit unfortunate. I would have liked if they hid that a little better, but if you don't look at it too much, you don't really notice it. The rest of it actually looks very nice. The texturing, the head sculpt on the wolf head, green eyes, very, very nice. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have much articulation. He has like a ball joint here at the hind legs, and that's about it. And then, some hinges here. And that's pretty much it. Doesn't really do anything else. But still, he has a very nice sort of a stalking pose. There with the teeth and whatnot. Like growling. So yeah, very nice. Very nice figure. Since there's not really much else, let's get on with his transformation. First, you pop off the tail. This will become his blaster later, so I'll put that off to the side. Then you come here, bit of parts for me, and pop off the back. This is another accessory. So now we have this. So then you come back here, pop back, pop out the legs. Whoops, make sure you don't pop off that leg. There we go. And just sort of connect feet like so. So bring out these feet. Click into place. Those. The lower half. And now we disconnect this. Disconnect this. Bring these flaps down. Flaps down. Bring this around. Bring this around. Fold out, fold out. Watch out for the missiles. And then you split, wait a minute, then you push this down. Well, you take this out, then, there you go. Take this out, then you push it down. So now he doesn't have that gaping hole. Then you put the missiles back in there. And then you split the head open. And I like to, now you could leave it open like this, but I prefer to fold it. It's a bit finicky, but there you go. Fold it down into shoulders, and then these wolf legs, you can have them, hold on. All right, sorry about that. So yeah, there we go. I like to have the wolf heads folded down to have them be like shoulder pads. The wolf head. The wolf leg, on the other hand, I like to kind of mess with it a little bit. This one I think down and this one up. Fine, these missiles don't want to stay in. So these are the missiles. I'm gonna put them off to the side. So here is Wolfang in his robot mode, and I think it looks pretty cool. Very nice, very, very cool design. I'm a big fan of the Beast Wars designs from back then because I think they look pretty cool, and the figures I think have aged very well. Very nice, very nice. Get a closer look at that head sculpt, and while we're here, we'll do articulation. But as you can see, he is wearing a mask. So this is technically his mutant mask, but it's just a visor on him. Then you lift it up, and boom, there is Wolfang's robot head with his massive chin. That's to accommodate the mask, which is cool. Very nice little feature. So head is on at least on my figure, a stiff ball joint, no waist. If you move the shoulders, there is a ball joint at the arm, a very nice bend at the elbow. Legs can go pretty far, then forward, back, bend at the knee, very nice, a very deep bend at the knee. And that's about it. It's pretty standard, pretty decent articulation, nothing too special. Now, however, he does come with a bunch of accessories, so it's all of this stuff. So, as you saw, the missiles do store in his chest from the back here. Now, I do remember that I believe on the original figure, these would clip in there and they would stay in there. Because you see how these just fall off? I distinctly remember the original figure not having that problem. So that might just be a reissue thing. Alright, so there's where you store the missiles, in his chest and one in his back. So then we have these things. If you flip this out, like so, and then bring this out, we have a shield. So this serves as his shield, like so, which is neat. I like the flip out effect, it's very cool. And we have this here, and this is his missile launcher, which we'll now hold in this hand. Side note, I'm actually a big fan of these Walmart reissues. Like, there's a whole lot of nostalgia. Actually, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll explain that later. So yeah, there he is, fully armed and loaded. And to use his missiles, you just take this, then peg it in there, and then fire. Push the button. And as you can see, it does seem a little puny, like a little underpowered, some might say. And I think that's an issue with this being a reissue. Yeah, because I remember the same thing happened with a couple other reissues that I've encountered, which were the Megatron and the Scorponok. Their missile launching features were underpowered. Because I have some original ones, and those things, they can take an eye out of how much power they had in those springs, and they still are powerful. So I think that's just because they brought it into that could just be like modern standards have made this guy a little bit safer. So now you can't take out, little Timmy's eye with his missile launcher. But let's face it, that was half the fun, and you all know it. All right, so here's Wolfang with his gear, and put it next to Ratchet and Cliff Jumper for size comparisons. Very nice. He's a big feller. It's a different time. Oh, and then I have a guest appearance by the Legacy Buzzsaw, who is also a Walmart exclusive, because, by the way, these reissues are just Walmart exclusives if I just didn't say that. On the off chance I didn't say that. And I bring these two together, not just because they're Walmart, exclusives, but funny enough, I recently found out that there was I believe it was a Costco double pack from back in the day that had these two together. Just fun fact. There was a Costco double pack which had a Wolfang, a Deluxe of Wolfang, and an original Deluxe Buzzsaw. So yeah, overall, he's a nice solid figure. If we were putting my bias into it, he's an excellent figure. Because, and now I get to the story time bit of this. So, Wolfang, back in the day when I was but a wee lad, Wolfang here was the only, as far as I can remember, if I had others, I can't for the life of me remember it, but I distinctly remember owning, when I was a little kid, a Wolfang figure. And that was the one, I had a bunch of Transformers, but that was the one Transformers I had from the original Beast Wars. I think I had like a Beast Machine and I had some other stuff. It was like mishmash. Heck, I'm convinced I think I did have an original Scorponok. A G1 Scorponok. I'm convinced I had one, but for the life of me, I can barely remember it. But I distinctly remember having a 1996 Wolfang. I don't have it anymore. It's lost to time, to the ether, whatever you want to say. But then but I had such nostalgia for that figure. I missed that figure. Couldn't find it. I think when I would try and find it secondhand, it was always too much. It was always an issue. It never complete. It was always something. Then Walmart rolls around and says that they're reissuing this guy. And I was hit with so much joy because it's like, wow, I can finally own this guy who I genuinely had as a kid. Unlike, I think, like most of my figures, I didn't really have as a kid. There's stuff I got way later. But this guy, I did have one. And the moment I got this guy from Walmart, I got home, I cracked him open. It was just nostalgia. I didn't look at the instructions. I knew exactly how to transform him. The missiles, the shield, the gun, everything. I remembered everything. And it's just, this guy's just a personal thing for me. Because he was one of the few ones I had as a kid that I remember. Think I had others, but I can barely remember them. I was just a little kid, and I remember playing with this guy. So yeah, just overall, I think he's a solid figure from then and now. And again, I might be biased in saying this, but it's one of those. I think he's a solid figure and worth getting. I think he was a good decision to reissue because Wolfang is a neat little character, and he's personal to me. So I like him. So yeah, overall, awesome figure. Can't complain. Except, couple things, but again, that's a reissue issue, not a 1990s issue. So yeah. So this has been my review of the Transformers Beast Wars Deluxe Class Wolfang. This is Composite Enerjoe signing off. Peace out and be safe.